Hey, we're replacing the engine anode on a 2020 Yamaha AR210. We've got two TR-1s in here, and I've seen a few videos on YouTube about removing that using a universal socket, and I just wanted to follow up with my own take on this situation here. This boat had been in salt water, and it didn't look like they'd ever replace that anode. So I was able to use a universal 12mm to get the holding bolt out, and it came out pretty easy. But then the whole anode itself, well, let's see. Here's my old anode that just came out, and as you can see, it's pretty degraded and all that white calcium or whatever the mineral is on the outside was doing a good job of holding it in place there inside the engine. So anyways, I had to remove the intake manifold here, and I wanted to kind of walk through that. It's pretty straightforward. There are two bolts, one that goes here, one that goes here, two nuts on the outside, 1, 2, and then down on the bottom there are also two more bolts, one holding in this anchor point here, and another one towards the back. And they're all pretty relatively easy to get out and pretty accessible. Once I got those off, I disconnected my spark plugs. There was a wire here I had to disconnect, as well as this gas line that was going into the top of the manifold. And in the back, there's this one little wire that runs over there that I disconnected as well, just to allow the manifold to fall away. So once that was done, it was time to focus on getting that anode out. And so I hit it pretty hard with some penetrating oil and put some vice grips on it, and just slowly rocked it back and forth and back and forth and back and forth until it popped out. Once it popped out, there was just a bunch of the mineral deposit down inside the engine. So I just scraped around with my finger and actually honestly just the end of a bolt and cleaned that out, and then was running the hose and filling up the engine block and letting it drain out, filling it up, letting it drain out. And I did that maybe half a dozen times before I could feel around the inside of that, and it was pretty smooth. So once I had that figured out, the new anode slid in just fine, and I put that 12mm back on and tightened it up, and now it's just a matter of doing all those things in reverse. So if you find yourself with an anode that's not cooperating very well and you want to get it out, honestly, I'd recommend just taking the manifold off. It was a lot easier than trying to work between all those cylinders and stuff like that with my fingers, and it was just getting uncomfortable. So good luck and happy boating.